Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome
I
to
like
Deep
your
Fried
mug.
Neurons. Todd, do the intro.
Welcome to Deep Fried Neurons. Better than
Do
refreshing
the intro.
Twitter.
We did that one last week. We need some new ones.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Mix them up.
Help us out, folks. Get us some new ones.
What are you
We need-
drinking? Should we do? Let's go straight to what are we drinking? I want to just. Who are we? Is too much of a burden.
Okay.
Every week. But what I am drinking. I guess I'll start.
Yes.
I homebrew.
Ooh.
Homebrew of
Tippy
what?
Coast water kefir, the stuff that from last week.
And it made its own booze?
Happily making babies.
Yeah.
Anyone wants any water kefir drink, let me know.
Carlin has babies
It's so-
that she's giving away.
I know
That's
water.
so weird, but I like how it
Yeah.
makes its own alcohol.
It does make its own alcohol, and so I strained it and put it in a bottle for a second ferment with some jam, which is not very sweet because the jam that I made is not very sweet. But it was on Wednesday. I did that on Sunday, and on Wednesday when I opened it during our meeting, it sort of like shot everywhere.
That's right.
It was really alcoholic. So this is what's left over, and it's it's boozy. It's a light boozy. It's like
Give it more sugar.
It's sort of like, how to put it? It's sort of like coffee versus green tea, like a beer versus this. It's a mellower boozy. But as you'll see, it will probably affect me as we go along.
Excellent.
Gonna say, is this the same thing that the other day was? I'm not going to say it. I'm just gonna wait. We'll find out.
It's So this is. We can make alcohol at home.
That's pretty awesome. I mean,
Yay!
preparing for the. Oh, hey, it's Jay. Hey, Jay.
I mean, people could before, but I think this is easier.
Oh, Kiefer Sutherland. That's very clever.
Anyway, so that's what I'm drinking.
Yep, this is how we know that Jay is here.
Woohoo! The pun arrives.
The bad jokes have started.
Or the best jokes.
Exactly.
So I'll tell you what
What do you
I'm
drink,
drinking
Barb?
today.
Mhm.
I am drinking out of a super awesome monster mug.
It's really
That's
great.
great.
This is to kind of make up for the fact that what is in this monster mug is Diet Coke. And rum! No,
Yeah.
there's no rum in here. There's no alcohol. This is, I think, a first. But I am taking pain meds because I hurt myself this week, and it
Oh.
hurts, and I don't like messing up pain meds and booze.
That's a good call.
Call me crazy. Yeah,
Probably a smart move.
I had.
I disagree, but it's a smart move.
What I was going to say earlier is what you could be drinking is children's Tylenol, liquid children's Tylenol. In our house, we refer to that as pink party.
Pink party. I like it.
Because when I have headaches, I don't always keep things down, and so the liquid stuff is good for me too. But we call it the pink party.
Yeah, because when it comes back up, it tastes good.
No,
again,
no,
you
no, no. So sad, so sad.
know? Yep.
Yeah. No, I dove into the side of a car. Parked
Just
car.
for fun.
Oof.
On the side of a road. Well, what I'm saying now, what the phrase is now is that a bunch of us were like really in a rush, so we all like just dove headfirst into our cars, and some of us were more successful than others. Like
You were very successful.
I missed the door entirely. I just like hit the wheel well.
Uh-huh.
Oops.
And so my arm is all is all hurting. I'll be fine. I think it's just soft tissue damage. So rest, ice, whatever the other things are. Yeah.
Compression, elevation.
That's it. Yeah.
I know, but you can't really compress this, and you can't really elevate it much.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of permanently elevated above your heart, but
unless I'm standing on my head. So no headstands.
Yeah, I don't understand how stunt people, they do these things where they're clearly just doing something of that caliber, like running into a wall or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not the dangerous part. The dangerous part is all the other stuff, but they're just like, oh yeah, they just kind of shrug it off. And yeah, they got some pads on it, but still there's that delta V going to 0 thing that still is going to be hurtful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they know the tricks for it. I definitely do not know the tricks. But they also, kind of beat themselves up. And I'm not doing that. But that means that nobody is drinking beer this week.
Except for me. ... I'm drinking. How can I do this?
Drinking a skeleton.
A skeleton.
You're drinking a sugar skeleton.
It's, where is it at? Stone Buena Vista Salt and Lime Lager. It's like super drinkable. Stone's a local brewery, California brewery. I think they're in San Diego. But one of the reasons why I wanted to drink beer is because it's cold and it's hot, very hot today. It's like almost 100 here in Pasadena.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
And Carlin made this awesome wine cozy that also happens to fit exactly. So it's this great little thing. You can just kind of carry it, just put it over your arm or whatever. But in addition to holding one wine bottle perfectly, it also holds 2 beer cans perfectly. So I figured I wanted to show off the beer can functionality of this for everyone, because it's so good. You just kind of go, whoop, and the beers are in there, and they're safe. They kind of keep the beers cold, because it's got the cloth around it. And this is cotton, so it's like nice and stretchy.
We need to see you walking around town with this, or walking around a Renaissance fair.
I thought that was the open beer on top, and I was like, oh.
No. These are 2 closed beers. So
Okay.
Oh shit! On my keyboard.
Not the computer again.
So I have 3 beers currently, 2 that are cold and in waiting. I don't plan to drink all of them, but who knows?
Hey, somebody's got to keep up for me.
Oh, beer purse. Yes, that's a really good name for it, beer purse.
Yeah.
Or whiny pack.
I mean, the other one was Boozy Bjorn. This could be the beery Bjorn.
Beer Bjorn. Here we go.
Beer Bjorn.
And the great thing is, I can almost put it on my head, so I just put a straw in.
No, you could. You had 2 handles for it. If those loops went to 2 handles, we could do it. I could do it. I can make you a beer Bjorn if you really want one. I can.
Yeah. So Carlin wanted to create a version of the thing she made last week.
I wanted to have a beer Bjorn
for me for beer. I mean for wine, and it turned out awesome. Thank you, sweetie.
Doubles as a beer thing.
No, we can totally do.
Beer purse. Does Kyle have a beer purse?
Don't tell Kyle.
What
super easy. Like if someone's super easy, the link to the video where the woman did the tutorial for it is in last week's blog post.
Nice.
You can really knock them out pretty quickly. It's meant to be for water bottles.
Well, I mean,
it's a tad healthier.
A lot of things are meant to be for something, but they're not.
Mostly water,
Yeah.
There are a lot of there are personal products that are made for one thing, but they're really not. They're really made for something else. They just like to say it. She says water bottles. She means wine bottles.
She does.
Or water kefir. Sutherland.
Yeah.
Kefir Sutherland.
What the heck is this? What do we do this week?
Okay.
Yeah.
This week we are gonna rant about the post office.
Rant about the post office?
Oh my gosh, you haven't seen the blog post, have you yet?
Oh.
So I love the post office. I think it's a really important part of democracy. Here, I'll share I'll share the screen.
Very much agreed.
And part of why we picked this theme this week was because I wanted to be able to talk about the post office. And it's under attack. It's being undermined. And Barb, if you could pull the...
Oh, yes. Sorry. Ow. Yes. Sorry.
No worries.
It's my dominant arm.
Oh no!
It's my dominant arm, and like, you don't realize, like, you never really quite realize how much you use it until it reminds you.
Yeah.
Sorry. So go ahead.
No. It's so I wrote a lot of information about the history of the post office, and one of the things that the people who really want to undermine the post office hate about it is that it's a government service success story that really is from the origin of our country. It's in the Constitution. They knew it immediately as, like, if you're going to have a democracy, you're going to have information spread to as many people as possible. And it's also represents, actually, interestingly enough, a threat to government surveillance, because right now it is one of the most secure ways of moving information around. There are a lot of laws protecting it, and it has been rigorously protected by the Fourth Amendment since 1877. It also counters voter suppression, and if we get enough places that allow enough voting by mail, it's a major way to let more voters be enfranchised. And all of these things are an anathema to people who don't really believe in democracy. There are a lot of people, even some of the original founding fathers, they wanted Washington to be a king. A lot of people have been suspicious of a government for the people and by the people and all the people. And it's a worthwhile, noble experiment, and we should fight to defend it. So anyway, this week, in order to defend the post office, you should buy stamps, buy merchandise, and each of us are going to point out our favorite merchandise. And also there's an organization called the Grand Alliance to Save the Post Office, which is a collection of different interest groups, the postal workers, and others who are enthusiastic about saving the post office. So call your senator, tell them that that you support the post office. Like for us, it's Fine Son and Harris. The House passed. Oh, did I keep that ringing? Yeah, so the House has passed to end the USPS payment for future retirees. One of the things that's an inhibitor for the post office.
Oh, yes, finally, please.
Well, the House did, but of course Mitch McConnell is sitting on it. So call your senators and tell them that you want them to go ahead and pass the bill that was passed in the House. The United States Postal Service Fairness Act, and of course that you support that and you think it should be passed. But one of the interesting things that some of the other things that people don't think of, the Postal Service was meant to be a connectivity hub for information, but it was actually blocked at the beginning of this century from participating in email, from participating in the internet. People wanted private companies to do that instead. So this is really interesting, the ways that Congress blocks the United States Postal Service from innovating and becoming more modern. So people think like, well, who cares about mail? Like, well, the post office could have done email. The post office could be doing internet. The post office could be participating in telecommunications. It does in other countries, and our Congress doesn't allow that. And people will be like, well, what about the privacy? It's like, well, actually, the laws governing the post office are much stricter than they are, say, private companies. So
Yeah, because they've been there since the inception of the country.
yeah, and
Like
because the U.S. Privacy Act of 1974, as a government agency, there are strict rules about how it handles personal information, none of which apply to private companies or private companies handling information. So, yes, post office, very important. Threat to fascism.
You know what
Anyway.
Oh, what's that, Barb?
Okay. I was going to say, I just wanted to make a comment that one of the greatest things about Deep Fried Neurons Happy Hour is that how many happy hours do you go to where you get to learn about freaking politics and the history of of all of this stuff? You have Carlin explain it there for you with all kinds of links and pictures and everything.
I know. Jay asked a really good question. Did the post office ever get into the telegraphy, like in telegrams? Western Union really had a good lobby and sort of like kept them out of the way. But there's I actually don't know enough about that. In fact, that's part of why those two books are in the window, and I have in the past done like affiliate links or a link to the last bookstore I started doing, but these links actually go to the World Catalog, and so you can find them in a library nearby. So I could go get this book from the Pasadena Public Library or the Altadena Library or any of these libraries.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Libraries are also an important part of democracy.
It is true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
So, what I did,
is
I sort of
what did you
phoned it in. Oops, sorry, hold on. I sort of didn't even think about that as I like flipped it down. Woo! This does have alcohol content.
This is what I was remembering from Wednesday, is that you were like, this isn't very strong. No, and then like 20 minutes later, she's just...
I'm just in a real good mood. That's all. Just real good mood.
I'm very glad that you're in a good mood, Carlin.
So...
I approve of good moods.
Postcards.
Nice. Oh, wait, here. Let's go full screen on you.
We're making postcards this week.
Mm-hmm. Main postcard.
Nice.
Very
cool.
Yeah, they're on cardstock. It turns out that I didn't need to. We had talked about on Wednesday whether or not I would need to use adhesive to put two cards together to make them thick enough. But I found out that the minimum thickness you can do for a 4x6 postcard is 0.009 inches, and using calipers, I confirmed that the weight of paper that I was using was 0.009 inches. Nice. So apparently it's supposed to be okay. I'll have to send one to Barb before I go sending it to other people.
Oh, color.
And I can use to do that these cool solar eclipse stamps that we got that glow in the dark.
Nice. Oh, they glow in the dark?
No. It's even better than that. They've got thermochromic ink. I was gonna link that.
Oh wait,
Here, I've got a. Yeah. Put your fingers on it. There's a PR release about it. So basically, as you heat it up, it goes through the phases of the solar eclipse.
Oh no way! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I thought it was glow in the dark. No, but you're right. It's thermochromic. Something.
Yeah. So these are like my favorite stamps, and so I'm so glad they're getting some exposure. And there's some info on the back of the sheet, and And yeah, you can still get them on Amazon for like twice the price, but
Or
but
Barb,
I
you
love
can
those
have
stamps.
a Max stamp.
A Max stamp? Well, Max is cool, but there's thermochromic
Yeah,
solar
yeah,
eclipse ones.
yeah,
I
yeah.
hmm,
Okay, that's what you'll get. I'll send you one, and then
Yeah,
you
so
can.
so the other thing that I'm really sad about with regards to stamps is there's this company called um, photostamps.com that is now closed as of like a couple of weeks ago because USPS stopped. Like basically, you could upload an image to this site and it would turn into stamps, and then you could get back stamps with custom image on it, and
nice.
that's really awesome, right?
Sure. Except
Except for some reason the USPS closed it, probably because they're so embattled because of all these ways that uh, the Republicans are trying to kill it
Yeah.
that they decided they got to streamline things. But but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
photo stamps and these thermochromic stamps, so cool.
All right. So if anyone else who's watching this wants to get a postcard, send me an email with your real snail mail address, and I will send you one.
Yeah,
You may not
I
get.
want
You want one? I can send you one. What? Oh, and if you pull the thing up again,
oh yeah.
Barb, so I can show the merch. My favorite merch was the little model Jeep, which I thought was adorable.
totally.
And
1971
also,
USPS Jeep.
and it was only like $5.99. I think it's tiny. I think if you look at the
Yeah,
picture,
it's like a Hot Wheels.
yeah. And then they make canvas bags out of previously used mail carrier bags, and they come in green and blue and cream and teal.
Oh, neat.
They're at $60. They're a little spendy for just like a tote. Although I guess I don't know, people spend thousands of dollars in bags, but yeah.
It's a little bit less about. It's a little bit about the bag. It's more about supporting.
Yeah, and
an
so when
organization that we really need.
I actually did order one. I ordered it in blue, and when it comes, I'll show it to people and they can decide whether or not they
nice.
want it. I thought blue was the very post office color.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. So that's
fun. We saw this on Twitter this morning from Alex Glow that she quoted somebody that was like, "Oh my God, USPS has merch." And everyone was like, "Yes, join us on the cool stuff, on the cool things they have. Like they have this cool, great shirt,
yeah,
all these great shirts and stuff." So I got me a shirt.
And no idea they had like such cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool. I don't know.
Barb,
so I didn't do. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead, Carl.
Barb.
Yeah, or
Todd,
were you saying you wanted to go? Or
yeah.
Sure. I mean, mine's quick because I didn't actually do much this week. I wanted to make so these are like the standard PCB blanks that the other mill takes, and they happen to be about the same size as a postcard. 5 inches by 4 inches. So I'm like, oh, I'll make some cool engraved design, maybe in the style of some of these PCB art things that I did last time, and but make it a postcard like greetings from Pasadena, and I could not find a design that I liked or one that transferred right to the restrictions of engraved copper. So like, let me show you the very lame thing that I have right now, which is this little thing. I'm sharing my screen. La Barb.
This. Yeah. Here, hang on. There you go.
So. It's I found this little design that incorporated some of the landmarks of Pasadena and imported that into Eagles. This is the little CAD program you use to mill out a board, and I used the literal Eagle PCB font for the text. And so it's really lame right now. There's no design on it yet. Maybe at some point I'll put one of the designs on it. But yeah, that's what I got.
What's the thickness of the board?
1.6 millimeters.
In inches?
1.6 millimeters.
Well, I don't. The post office gives it spec in inches, baby. I'm so sorry.
0.0645. 0.06.
Is that just over the size?
Or
No, that's the thing. Is I thought you could put anything through the mail as long as you put enough postage.
Oh,
on
no.
it.
That's the thing. It's not a postcard.
it's as
It
if you
treats it
can
like
get the cheap postcard rate. It's just a little.
Yeah. That I don't care about.
I was
No,
gonna say we don't.
I'm
yeah.
just saying. I was just curious.
Like, I'm gonna put fucking extra postage on it.
Yeah,
And I'm
right.
gonna tape $1 bill to the thing for the postal carrier because it's hot out.
You can't do that, baby.
With a little note. Hey, I want extra special service. Okay, man.
No.
Yeah, Matt. The USPS crop top T-shirt is pretty cool too. But that that really doesn't fit my sort of style. I'm not a. You and Adele, maybe you're kind of crop top compatible, but not me.
I could see that. I could see them in the. Todd, I could see you in the crop top.
I can do it.
No one wants to see me in a crop top. Not even our cat. And our cat would have the most fun with it with the scratchy claws. But
Especially if you made a crop top with fringe. Like if you cut the T-shirt, like they.
no,
There
that
you
would be
go.
even worse. So anyway, so if I end up making something, I'd love to try mailing one of these PCB things out just to see what happens, because then it becomes, I can also etch a circuit in it and maybe do something with put actual SMD components on it and then put another PCB on top as essentially a protective layer, so that a full circuit board could be mailed through the mail without it being in an envelope or whatever. I think that'd be kind of fun. And
You
that's
might
not a
be
little
falling
USB check.
into the non-machinable mail.
Oh,
category.
definitely. Yeah. And I think because it's not flexible, it falls into that immediately, right?
Yeah.
Can you not do something that
There
isn't
are
flexible?
these rollers. There are these roller systems that it needs to be able to move through. So I think this service needs to have a little bit of play.
Yeah, so you can put kind of like anything up to a certain thickness in an envelope, and that's okay to mail. But then they immediately kind of will go, oh, this isn't flat, so we're not going to send it through our automatic machine sorters. We're going to have some humans look at it.
Yeah.
And,
There's also linked to in the blog post is the full spec for the post office.
oh, excellent.
Yeah. So they also have in one of the links you can a mail design associate. I don't know if they're like business people who want to talk to them about can I send this to the mail like this, or I'm designing this mailer, can talk to a post office employee to see whether or not something meets the specification.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
no,
a
it
lot
makes
of
sense.
sense.
Good customer
So
service.
Matt, you mentioned wooden postcards, and one of my other ideas that I didn't explore at all was I've got a bunch of this
till
kind
I
of
get there.
veneer of various types
Okay.
that has no adhesive on it or anything. It's just thin strips of wood.
Just
I was wondering if this could go through the mail, maybe with some sort of I don't know, protective.
They make
bit on
them.
it.
it would
but-
need protection because
it's
that
really
stuff
thin.
cracks pretty good
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you
it's
start
already
bending it too
cracked up
much.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a fair
Well,
amount of that, but yeah.
What's the matter, Carlin?
No, don't
Oh,
hurt it.
don't kill
The internet
the.
is tubes, and USPS is rollers," says Mr. Pinner.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And what's your merch pick?
Oh, the T-shirt, which is the
Shall I do this? Is this it?
yeah, the airmail T-shirt. It's I think it's of all the ones that are the guy shirts. I think that's kind of one of the cool ones.
Guy shirts. Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're the ones that are kind of styled like just the graphic design is more kind of like guy, and there's some that are like a little bit
We
less
need to have a
guy.
conversation about that, Todd. I agree.
I was gonna say I
it's
almost picked that one as mine.
I think you're.
no. It's good, but it's not very. It's not a femme. It doesn't have like soft swirly bits. It's got like airplanes going up and to the right with vigor.
Guys can wear femme shirts too.
I'm just talking about our societal sort of like expectations.
Oh,
What you're saying is you want a shirt that says I have a penis.
Yes, or at least I have a kind of maybe I've got a penis in being able to like make PCBs or something.
you're married to a woman who like uses power tools and programs and prefers grays and blues and browns and blacks in her clothing, right?
Yeah, that's
and you
great.
verified my bits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I'm not saying anything about any particular person. I'm just saying like this T-shirt reads as more of a guy T-shirt to me, whereas the crop top reads more as a girl T-shirt.
I mean, you could certainly. Well, I would argue a woman T-shirt.
Sorry, yeah, woman. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also I would point if you want to look for one that reads more woman than man, I would say the shirt that is actual woman's cut.
Yes, definitely.
The one with the love,
Yeah.
the love.
Burn the gender binary
Stop.
to the ground.
But yes, that too.
Totally.
Sorry.
That too.
This whole conversation sucks. Let's move on.
All right, I'll stop. I just like airplanes in blue. All right.
Yes, you're allowed to like airplanes in blue. Everyone's allowed to like airplanes in blue. To the ground!
Anyway, so Barb, what did you make?
Barb, yeah, let's go. Barb, again, you made the coolest thing.
I made the coolest thing. Oh,
You
okay.
did make the coolest thing. You regularly make the coolest thing.
That's not true. You guys make awesome. I love all the things that all of us make.
All the
Okay.
things.
So this was the funny thing is like this I usually am the one who makes
You want me to send the picture?
Hmm?
You want the picture?
Sure, why not? I mean, I'll show the real thing too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah. So usually I go less tech. I usually go lower tech. But for this one that like really was made just to be super analog, I wound up going saying, I'm just gonna make it a mechanism and I'm gonna make it move, or I'm gonna try to anyway. So I went into Fusion 360. If you want to go back up there, and I modeled it, and I used like a gear generator in Inkscape, and I learned how to do
joints and all that.
I know. I didn't know how to do that before, and I'm very excited that I got to learn how to do that. I've
never
really
played with that.
fun.
That's amazing.
It's fun, and it's not at all hard. Like I found a tutorial and didn't even watch it the whole way through, because I'm like, okay, this, yes, that, okay, that's all I need to know. Fine. And it has like all kinds of little cool animations to show you if you're using the right kind of telling it to do the right kind of motion, and like you can set limits on it, and it's just like it's the shit. I love it. And so I could do this and figure out how to make it so that it like fit on the card, and that I got the right motion, and that like all of my linkages were the right length and everything. And so I did that, and then I went and I laser cutted, and I can have it kind of in the sun. There,
Nice.
yeah. So this one is done on. Oh, this is difficult because I can't lift my right arm. Okay, wait.
Oh
Hang
no.
I have to get it so that I can hold it while my arm is down. There, that's fine. That works. Okay. So, and then it's backwards. So actually it's working a little bit better right now, but it kind of gets a little bit of it binds a little bit in some spots because it is really, really tricky to do. Oh, here, wait, let me just go full screen here. Hello, me. Okay. Yeah. So, it's a little
That's
tricky to get
great.
gears to work right. But I'm a big old fan of like linkages and mechanisms and gears and all of that shit. So I did it, and I had these these scraps of mat board, and we've got Matt in the chat. It's mat board. Yeah, whatever. So I did that, and then I also there's frame pieces. It's really not quite done. But it's 4.5 by 6 inches, which is like the big card or the big postcard size. And so then this goes over it. And then I'm thinking of putting like a piece of clear plastic in between so that it's like kind of protected on this side. But then you can reach here and you can turn it still and make it move. Okay, so I'm over there this morning and lasering this, and right next to the laser cutter is some other scraps of plywood. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it in plywood too, because you got to do multiple versions, especially when it's tough to tell how they're going to perform. And this one actually does a whole lot better than that.
Interesting.
Than the other one. It's a little bit more sturdy. Oh, I also sanded down the ends of the teeth
Very
a little bit, but this one works pretty well. And just for I left some extra. This is so hard because it's backwards. I left some like extra holes and stuff so I could adjust things if I wanted to. But it's good. And there's like a little washer here so that this linkage passes the rivet. Speaking of the rivets, these are filament rivets. Like I made that video about filament rivets some time ago, which I think is linked to
using 3D printer filament and melting it.
Exactly. Which is super easy, and you can make them like any size and flatten them out, and yeah. So it's really pretty cool. And then eventually I can put. Actually, I've got another piece that can go on the back, and then I can do this, and I can write on it and put stamp and everything, and then have my thing on the front, and then it will be much, much too big to go through rollers, and I'll probably want
also the front. It might actually, they might say no.
So I was thinking about it, I'm like, that's fine. I'll put it in a box.
It's still going through the mail.
That's really the critical point of it.
Yeah.
But then it also looks like a postcard still, and then it moves and it waves and it says hi to you. Hi. My plan is to for this one at least, and maybe I'll do something with this one as well. But I was gonna, because I'm doing black, and you can't really see quite as well with contrast, but I have all these metallic markers and paint markers and stuff, and so I'm like, okay, I can draw on it with that, and I can put like eyes on here so it looks like a person's face spinning around as they're waving at you.
That's awesome.
And I thought that would be fun. Yeah, that's my postcard.
Love it.
But it's kind of fun, and I'm pretty pleased with how well this actually worked, and how easy it was to do in Fusion. Yeah.
Woohoo!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was great.
There's 8 comments since I clicked on it.
Cupcakes? You mean mailing cupcakes in the mail? Just put a stamp on them, Matt?
Cupcakes. Yes. Barb grabbed mat board seat.
I do feel okay. I'm gonna.
Yes.
We did equate gender with your bits a little while ago, and that is not, I think, the way we feel. Just,
yeah.
Like I think it was a little transphobic or trans unfriendly. I don't think that's how any of us actually feel, and I just wanted to make sure that That was also sad.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough undoing decades of indoctrination.
Yeah,
That's very true.
yeah. So anyway,
But we can try.
I wanted that in the same video with that.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you for
uh,
Recognizing.
catching it fast. Like, it's not about me. It's about catching it fast. And
and
anyway, I started another bottle of the Waterkeeper, and so I'm a little slow.
So I didn't show my my merch pick.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show my merch pick. Merch. Here, I will share a screen. Actually, I will share a Chrome tab. This one. That one. There we go. Mine is Mr. Zip. Zip. Like I guess like zip codes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I picked this because look, it's so cute.
Yeah.
It's like a cute little illustration, and I'm really I love this kind of font, this kind of lettering. I freaking love it. Like where there's overlaps and stuff. Like if anybody remembers from any of the things that I've lettered before, I always do that.
It looks much like the way you letter things.
Yeah. I love that.
Around the period is really good.
Yeah. And fun. I'm a little bit bummed that all they have left is freaking small.
Oh wow, that's super bummer.
Yeah, they do have one that's like a dark gray, but it looks kind of like it would be really difficult to see it. Where is it? Look at all the cool stuff they had. Like this cool dispenser, the dog costume. Everybody's seen the dog costume, right?
Yeah.
In a video of that in action.
There's a video. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see the video either.
Oh gosh. Okay, we're gonna have to find it.
Excellent.
Here, wait. Let me find the gray. I mean, I might have to get the gray one anyway. Oh, look at the lab one. Oh, so cute.
I'm really having fun.
I'm very distractible. Oh no, I'm never gonna be able to find it. Okay, wait. Where's the? Show me just clothing. Go to clothing. Yes. Okay, there's Mr. Zip, and there's the dog, and there's socks, which are also cool. Oh, there's the love shirt, which is cute. I almost picked that one too. I also like this. But here's Mr. Zip, the other Mr. Zip.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
This one is, I'm a little, the font is still cool, but not quite as cool.
No, it's not as cool.
And it's also really hard to see.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Zip himself pops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Quite a bit more. And interestingly enough, they just issued that in June, probably when the other one ran out. It was so popular. The other one was issued in 2015. If you caught that date, so probably this is their reprint.
This is their attempt to do. Why would they do one that's worse? That's totally silly.
A lot of bad graphic designers out there.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the whole Mr. Zip story because I remember many years ago seeing a cartoon, like a TV show cartoon that had some of the commercials in it, and it was from the 60s, and apparently Mr. Zip was for we didn't used to have zip codes. You just would put Los Angeles, California, and that's it. And the zip code was their ability, their attempt to let's rationalize things and give every region a code, and we are going to have this PR campaign to get people to start using zip codes, and Mr. Zip was part of that.
That's cool.
And that was in the 60s. It's to me, it's one of these things where oh, zip codes have existed forever, but no, it's they're I
was gonna say that's
they're as old as Steve
I like Jay's idea
that makes
to buy that small and turn it into a pillow.
Oh yeah, totally.
Turn it into a pillow. Yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah.
I might. I like it. Yeah.
God.
or something.
Now I want the canvas
I don't know.
bag with Mr. Zip on it.
There you go.
Actually, if I got the small one and I like just cut it and like stretch it over a thing and put it in a frame, then it could just be a print.
You can also.
There might be prints too,
Well, anyway.
or it could be a tote
There could be a tip.
because he said totes.
Totes.
I know. Totes my goats.
So,
Yeah.
can you talk about what we're going to be doing next?
Yeah. This
I mean-
one is, I guess, mine. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
kind. It's kind of collaborative. So okay, yeah, this one is different. Because we've been doing, and we were talking about, about mixing up the themes a little bit to try something a little bit different.
It's also like
And
we're
also to
tired.
what was that?
It's also we were getting tired.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other thing, is like, let's figure out a way of making this not too intense for us, which I think was part of the intention of the postcards, because it's like, oh, postcards are super simple.
Yeah.
And then of course I go into freaking Fusion and start laser cutting things and make a damn mechanism.
No, but
Let me design a CAD model.
We just have to make things difficult.
Meanwhile, anyway, yes.
Yeah.
All right, we did
Anyway, so in an effort to make things a little bit different or simpler or give us more time to accomplish something, so it's a little bit lower intensity, we decided that our next theme is going to be a month-long theme, and it's the what are we calling it? The 30-day journal.
Yeah, I think we have a week to figure out what we're going to call it, but we have 6 hours to figure out what we're going to do, respectively. But anyway, keep going.
Or 30 days of 30-day notebook. It's a 30-day project. And the idea of it is that you have some sort of container, such as a notebook or a binder. And I'm sorry, I'm very distracted. The light is hitting my light tube hexagon things really, really pretty right now. It's really freaking pretty. Sorry. Yeah, but you can do, so then the question is, or you have the option, if you want to do something that's like a single project where it's like, one of these a day. Carlin had mentioned, can I mention your suggestions?
Oh yeah, I don't even remember what they were.
I remember at least one. It was like a watercolor a day, or 30 days of Python or something.
Yeah.
Which I love. And
forgotten that we had talked about the idea of a journal being part of it.
Yeah, I mean, but it could be like part of it. It could be like, you're journaling to some extent. Your
30 gists.
30 jokes.
30 beers.
30 beers. You know what? You could try 30 different beers and like draw pictures of them or write notes about them or something.
Or
it could be
all the cans into an ingot.
Ooh. And then melt it and drip it all over the page.
Oh my god. Anyway.
You do whatever. So it could be like 30 days of a very similar type of thing. Or it could be like a different kind of prompt, like each day. Like write a poem today, or and then do something else on a different day, or something for a week, or not. It's kind of open-ended. It's kind of intended to be what we want it to be, because that's kind of the idea of this, in the first place. Yeah. Did you have other thoughts on it, Carlin?
No, I had forgotten about the whole idea. I think now that you mentioned it, doing being literally a 30-page journal. That is distracting.
See, this is what I'm
30 days of caustics.
By. It's a little difficult to, the colors aren't showing up quite as well on the camera as in person, but it's still pretty darn cool. I'm a big fan of this thing at sunset. It's just,
Wow.
it's super neat. Yeah, sorry, I had to show you.
No, thank you. That's
awesome.
gorgeous. I think for me, part of it was I just wanted to encourage an idea that was less whiplashy than like shift gears every week, shift gears every week, shift gears every week.
Totally.
Be able to like build a little more momentum.
Mhm.
Yeah, the journal idea, a 30-day journal, concretizes the idea that there needs to be a daily output instead of just spend an hour on, which I think is interesting. So I'm thinking about that, which would change, honestly, for me, would change what I pick. Like,
Why is that?
something that like, oh, I can doodle on is it an achievement or an amount of time spent? Like I can doodle a full Post-it note every day, or I can spend an hour learning a new piece of software. You know what I mean? Like, and get better and better and better on this one piece of software. So the idea, though, that there has to be an output means I'd be more likely to pick, say, like Fusion or something where like, oh, and at the end I'll have this artifact of some sort, like an easy artifact, as opposed to I'll spend another hour on this program that I'm writing, and by the end of the month I'll have a program. I think they're both valid. Like, I'm not advocating for either, but I think the difference in tone and the difference in the type of output will be different. Todd, do you have a preference in terms of
so you're basically arguing the distinction between spending 30 days on a single thing versus spending doing 30 different things around a single theme. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Not necessarily. I mean, it could be 30 different. Oh yeah. See, here's the thing.
30 journal pages could still be, but like 30 journal pages, there needs to be 30. It could be 30 blog posts about what you're working on, but there needs to be something, an output at the end of each day, versus there's no output necessary. I can just mentally check off, oh, I spent an hour today. Is different. Those are different, and one's not better or worse, but.
Well, you can still do, I mean, you can make, an output be just some amount of documentation, however short it is, of what you did that day, whether you accomplished much or not, or whether there is an artifact.
That'd be useful exercise just in and of itself.
No, absolutely. I think any version of those are valid. I was sort of intrigued by my own different reaction to like, oh, there needs to be the pressure that I felt immediately, like, oh, there has to be something packaged for public consumption at the end of every day, versus something that is not needing to have something that is packaged for public consumption because of my own hangups about public consumption and putting things out in public. So I thought it was interesting. I was just watching my own reaction. So I think they're both really valid, but I just think it's interesting to me that
I have a lot of that too. And I think if we're talking like sort of software projects, I think the idea of gists, like 30 gists, GitHub gists, are a good way to, at least for me, to sort of conceptualize it. It's like, oh, a gist is basically a single screen of code or text or whatever that represents the thing I did, and is very ephemeral, very not important in the larger scheme, but might be critical for. So yeah, I mean, so I could see 30 gists towards a larger project being kind of straddling both.
Yeah, so I mean, let's ask the people who are watching, which would people rather see like 30 things or 30 steps of progress.
See, because I can totally picture myself having a page of a notebook, and like given whatever that day is like, I can just picture, especially given what my week's been like, that I would have at least one page that just says in really big letters in the middle, no, and that's it. that is what I have created for the day.
Yeah. So how about this? How about we just like leave it a 30-day journal, and then as usual, the three of us will interpret that as we do.
Yeah, I mean, I
did all 30 days in 1 week.
No.
What?
No.
Which can, I mean, it can even be if you want to have 30 things that aren't actually on every single day.
No, it has to be every day.
Every day? Okay.
Can't leave it to the last day and then do 30 things?
No. Stop cheating.
I don't know. I mean, like, there's this thing called
7 objects or 7 journal pages, whatever we decide to label as a journal page. We need to have 7 of them by August 7th, which is next week.
Mm-hmm. So we have maybe not 6 hours to decide, but like 30 hours, 29 hours.
Yeah, you gotta get something done by midnight
the end of tomorrow.
A single thing done.
Yeah. But you've got to get the big thing done, which is deciding your fucking theme.
Yeah, which I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Barb, I think you, in particular, could really just do a 30-page actual physical notebook, and it would end up being stunning. Todd
it would
and
be kind of cool. Like one of my
friends, like 30 days of stick figure drawing.
I'll send it for that.
Yeah. So
what would be kind of fun is 30 fonts.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Just like draw a font in a notebook every day.
That'd be super cool.
I like that. I like that idea. I like it a lot. And I have a notebook that I can use for it.
A review of 30 different knobs and potentiometers.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be cool.
Oh, Todd, actually, that would be lovely.
I really like that.
Like
would there be sketches in it?
A big 5x6 grid, and there's like you put a knob in each one, and you print a little 3D box, and you would like put it in, and it's got an AT Tiny in it. That can all of them then change the color of the LED glowing on the box. Oh, Todd, this is cool.
This sounds like your project now.
No. This is
just telling you what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is. I just think that sounds wonderful. It sounds incredibly satisfying.
Go for it.
No, you. You're the one.
She wants to see it. She doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, totally.
I want to play with it when it's done.
I feel like this should be a big I feel like we should make this particular project a challenge for hey you watching. Hey you.
Okay, Matt.
Everybody, yeah. People watching, like if you want to jump in on this one, please, and tell us what you're doing. Oh, and by the way, if you miss a day, don't just give up. Jump back in.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. But it would be really cool to see what other people do too.
It would be really cool.
Totally.
Yeah. So you don't have any ideas, Carlin?
I have too many ideas. And we're at 59 minutes and 21 seconds.
And we certainly can't go over.
I don't know. 30 app submissions to the iOS App Store.
I would have need to have prepared that.
Like, you'd look like this at the end of it.
Maybe the next round of 30, and I have to spend this 30 like getting I'm an application developer. And
No,
blah,
just
blah,
just
blah,
submit like all the demo apps off from the Apple developer website.
blah. Nap a day. Well, yeah, actually, with Swift UI, I want to fuck that.
Or 30 ideas of apps.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I know.
Ideas aren't fun.
I think ideas are fun.
Ideas, I have like.
I would be into 30 ideas of things. And like 30 designs.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
That's too much dead space. Should we sign off? Okay. Yes. So 30 somethings. 30
something
pages or just or
30
whatever.
pages.
30. Ow. I need 2 hands for this business.
Oh no, poor Barb. Good luck with your pain meds.
30 days of trying to get my arm back to normal. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. See you next week. Cheers. Bye.